So when we get back from the break, I'm going to talk more about how I really started getting in and putting this together and what my expectations are for spilling the anxiety. So we'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the break. All right, y'all, and we are back. So I'm going to apologize to you because I do have a tendency to go off on tangents. I'll say that I'm explaining one thing and then I'll go off and I will go into all the subplots of everything that I just said. So I know that when I listen back to this, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So I'm trying to stay on topic. I even wrote notes for myself, which I'm being honest, I am not reading. I am just talking. But that's fine. That's totally fine. There are no rules here. Only rule is it's a safe space and no rules. So what I want from this, what spilling the anxiety is supposed to be. First off, I know y'all like how I did that. Spilling the anxiety, spilling tea, gossiping, giving all the knowledge on anxiety. You know, it's okay. You can take a minute, absorb it. I know it just hit you. So one of my goals for this is that I want everybody to feel like there is a place where they can go to and find people like them who are struggling through everything. I think people think that, and I found myself feeling this way, if you weren't a parent, you didn't understand what the hell I was going through, so please just shut the fuck up and get out of my face. That simple. But it's not that simple because people without kids got struggles too. People hate their jobs and that's okay. People's entire lives go to shit because they're unhappy in a relationship. And there's everybody like, you don't need a man to be happy, girl. You can go ahead and do what you want. You don't need that bitch, bro. You can go ahead and do whatever you want. But the reality of it is that for those of you who know my friend Maslow, he has this whole hierarchy of needs that's like, you know, there are certain things that you need just to feel good about yourself as a person. And guess what? Love is one of them, motherfuckers. So that's just to say that do not discount the power of somebody loving you, being the absolute bane of your existence and the reason why you are so depressed that you just want to die. Not because, oh my God, they're so important that they're worth my life, but because the feelings that you experience every day and that voice in your head it's just too goddamn loud. And for you to be expected to still adult and still have to go and do things, going through this feeling because shit doesn't stop just because you want to, that hits. It hits hard. So my goal for this is for everybody and anybody who has a problem, from a hangnail to I lost all my limbs to I just fucking hate my job, B. I want all of you guys to come and join this hub. There will be a category for anybody and everybody. And if there isn't one, I want you to let me know so I can make a category just for you. And I will be in that group with you because I have learned more than ever over the past year how important it is just for somebody to be like, you know what? Maybe that problem's not as big as my problem, but it's okay. I'm not going to counter and tell you how much worse my problem is than yours. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that you shouldn't be bitching because there are, hungry kids in Africa and dying Ukrainians at the Russian border or whatever it is. I want this to be a space where you feel like you can post about how whatever it is that's bothering you and post it in a category with other people who feel the same. Word of advice, if it's not your fucking category, if there are a bunch of people without kids whining about how fucking difficult their life is, please don't come in with your kid having ass and come in there and say, hey, well, you don't know how hard it is because you don't have kids. Bitch, that's why this ain't your category. Go to the parenting forum and complain about that. That's the kind of place that I want to have for everybody. And I want you guys to be able to join in with me on this journey. I fit so many communities. I've been homeless. I've got a great house now. I can't afford this house now because I am unemployed. But I will be able to afford this house when I figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. And it's okay. I got a car and I also grew up in New York and I took the subway and the bus, bitch. I am all over it. Okay, and that's what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a space for absolutely everybody to be able to complain about everything and read these blog articles. Go ahead and educate yourself on what somebody else is going through. Go ahead and educate yourself on the real shit that nobody wants to say out loud because they're afraid to be judged. And I found myself feeling that way. I found myself saying things out loud when I started talking that it was both a relief to say, and I was so terrified that I felt like that because I didn't even know. I've been in conversations with my partner, with my kid's dad, about what I expected from certain things. And I couldn't find it at the moment on what to say. And then I'd be talking with my friend Diana, and I'd be like, oh my God, that's it. That's the thought. That's what I wanted. Why couldn't I say that before? And sometimes it just takes somebody either you don't know or somebody you do know that's maybe not right next to you to tell you what it is that or to push forward that thought that makes you realize about what it is that you need. I'm not going to lie to you. I do intend on monetizing this content so that way I can build my living off of doing something that I know the most. This isn't, I just want to take the things out of your pocket. I promise you, if you guys see the services that I'm offering on my website, I will offer sessions for you to sit down and talk with me. And you will have the option to get my opinion or not. Sometimes you just want to scream and yell and cry for 20 minutes and have somebody tell you it's okay, even when it's not okay. Then there's other times where you need somebody to tell you that you're bugging and you need actual advice on what you want to move forward to. You will have both options on my website to tell me what it is that you want from me, what you need me for, before we sit down and speak. And I will present that to you. Because I think it's important that everybody gets to say what it is that they want. I'm not going to tell you how many times in my life I felt so scared to talk to somebody because of what they were going to tell me. Even when I said, I don't want you to tell me anything. This is the option that I want to present to you. Very red pill, blue pill. Okay. Do you want to live in a world where you just keep, venting and nobody tell you anything and you kind of just stay in the matrix? Or do you want to live in a world where you get exposed to the truth and you have somebody telling you what it is? That's your decision to make. And I'm Morpheus for you. Okay. So my website, I was jumping back and forth between what I wanted it to be called, and I've also got merch, and I've got candles, and I've got another friend with a podcast called the Mental Beauty Podcast. Check it out if you can. She's another mother who's going through, her own anxieties and her own bullshit, and y'all should check it out. Her podcast is on Spotify. So, I want you guys to, I think it's important. I think that we don't listen to radio anymore unless it's some, banging ass music that slaps. Or, we don't pick up a book anymore unless it's got at least 7 sex scenes. Or it's on a Kindle. And shoot, we don't even pick up books anymore. We can hear it. All right. And I think that it's time that we start making time for the important things. I'll be honest with you. I'm making a podcast, and up until recently, podcast was never something I listened to. And when I say recently, I mean until that friend I was just talking about that's got a podcast, her podcast was the first that I listened to. And it motivated me to make mine because I seen how she did it, and I was like, oh snap, I got shit to say. I sure do. And I guest started on her podcast, and we had a whole conversation about parenting and what it's like with mental health struggles. But I need to go deeper than that. I want this to be a vocal diary. I want this to be a place where y'all hear my innermost thoughts and hear what it's really like coming from somebody unfiltered. So my promise to everybody here is to be as brutally honest with you as possible. I will tell you when I'm lying. I will tell you when my thoughts are not my own. I will tell you when I want to take from you, and I will tell you when I've got something to give. All I ask in return is for the support of you listening to what I have to say and saying, you know what? Maybe I can't use this, but somebody else can. I have seen people out there that are such low down, dirty assholes that I'm telling you, all they care is about themselves. And you know what? I can't even say that sometimes I don't relate to it, because if it is a matter of me or somebody else, best believe it's going to be somebody else. I'm a very good person. Very. But good is subjective because I also will kill a motherfucker if I have to. Okay? But that's only because I have that mentality. This is not a TV show where it's like, oh my God, I killed somebody who was going to kill me. And now I feel guilty and I have to report to their family and tell them everything that I was feeling and turn myself into the police because, I took this person's life. They were about to take yours without blinking. So what did you want to do? Die so you can feel better about it? That is not what this is. Life is not a sitcom. Life is not a drama, and it is most definitely not geared by the moral compass. You do what it is that you have to do. But what I will do is I will be selfish when I need to. I will not be self-serving or self-absorbed. And I plan on something that I want to talk about later on. I had a very big problem with seeking attention and even lying to get that attention. And when it blew up in my face that lying was the one thing that almost destroyed my family. I mean, maybe it destroyed it, maybe it saved it. It depends on who you're looking at, from what point of view you're looking at it from. But when it blew up my family, that was enough for me to say right then and there that I wanted to live a life of brutal honesty. In any way, shape, or form. Whether I know you or I don't know you, I will not lie to you. And that's just something that I aspire to live up to. And so that's my promise to you guys. To be as honest as possible. And whatever it is that you ask of me, to give it to you to the best of my ability, because I'm not anybody to say that you can't have it. If getting something from me is going to make you happy and it doesn't bring me down, I will give it to you. That's a tall order to fill. And I promise you, I'm going to try to fill it. Okay, so let's take a short break. And then when we come back, I will be wrapping up this podcast by giving a couple of finishing details on what's to come with Spilling the Anxiety. Thank you guys for hanging in this long. Okay, and we are back for the home stretch. I am so proud to say that I think that I only have about 14 awkward mini silences in this podcast so far and about 7 ums. So, only can move forward with improvement. So let's move forward and charge ahead. So, and like are all the words that I try to remove from my vocabulary when I'm talking, but I also have a very conversational tone, so you get what you get. Content is still good, I promise. So, I've already told you guys what I plan to give you and that I expect for you to support me because I feel like I'm going to provide a service that is much needed. Now, I would be lying to you if I said I did extensive amounts of research on what there is that is available to you that is also like mine. And I also know that a huge deterrent between getting what it is that I'm going to be providing is going to be financial services, or financial resources. But the good thing is that my podcast is available for free and my blog articles are available for free. Now, what is not going to be for free is going to be the memberships on my website. Now, these memberships are going to be the access to the forums, the access to certain content that I feel is very strong natured for the public because they are very personal to me. And that's like the juicy stuff. So that's going to be obviously under wraps. And it will be available to you if you have a membership. Membership is also going to give you discounts off of those vent sessions that I was telling you about. I'm going to have 20, 35, and 50-minute sessions. And what we are going to do is we are going to get face-to-face and correction, not face-to-face, video face-to-face. It's like a Zoom meeting. And I will be there for you to listen to everything that you have to say. And like I said, if you want my feedback, you let me know. If you don't, you just want me to sit there and listen to you, I can do that too. And then I have other stuff that's going to be on my website. I'm going to have resources for you to access mental health wise. I want to pair people together, not in a literal sense, like, pair Sally with Lucy and y'all can, bitch about stay at home momness. I mean more like I want to have categories for everybody and every type of people that there are involved. And of course, these places will have moderators